Wait, wrong game. So, let me get this straight. I'm pretty sick and tired of seeing another melee influence build on Okina. Not saying it is bad, but there's little creativity in it. And why even call it Okina Incarnon build if there's barely any utilization of set ethereal daggers? Not to throw shade towards other creators, but that's honestly depressing to witness. Enough of that. Let's talk about Okina Incarnon. Its incarnate form allows spectral daggers to spawn on kill, hitting enemies, causing a single target to be inflicted with 10 cold procs and others around it with 1 cold proc. Simple, right? What isn't told is that the direct hit of the daggers can apply IPS from your weapons aside from cold with a force 10 cold procs on it, and its AoE, while only force 1 cold proc, also has an innate damage proposition of 100% cold, no IPS. This second part is where most of the people ignore, not knowing what it can be done with it. Let me open your eyes today. Before we get into the builds, Rhino will be the buffer today, switching between Wrathful Advance and Rage, which both will replace Rhino Charge. Also, Arcane Strike will be highly recommended for today's build. Madurai will be the focus school for both setup as usual, and lastly, 2 Dexterity Arcanes on your primary and secondary. Looking into the build, what's important aren't the mods but what element I choose to go with. Gas electricity with melee vortex. Now you may ask, where can you even source magnetic for it to proc? Remember that I said the AoE of the daggers is 100% cold? This cold will be combined and it suddenly becomes magnetic and gas on top of it. Magnetic satisfies the requirement for melee vortex to proc, and gas benefits massively from clumped up enemies. This allows the daggers to be a very capable DPS tool along with your melee as well, while providing massive benefits that allows the melee to shine. Melee afflictions with just a single hit mod. If you do some critical thinking right now, you could probably see the vision. This hit is to make blast for the daggers, because the standing and moving combo of spinning daggers have knocked down or lifted, which satisfy the requirement of triggering melee afflictions, which can expedite the process of getting 10 blast procs for 5 meter radial damage. Like the last build, both the weapon and the dagger itself are capable to deal damage by themselves, but all-in on damage output instead, leaving little for utility that can benefit the setup. Again, melee vortex, but now Just a single electricity mod. You probably knew what it could make at this point if you see the pattern. Your ethereal daggers are not for damage but all in on support. This allows better modding space while still preserve the benefit of clumped up enemies, which is why electricity is modded. Normally, electricity cannot coexist with magnetic. Very few weapons allows that, and Okina Incarnon is one of those exceptions. Gas, while being very cool with magnetic, generally requires way more modding space than usual, but electricity only needs one in this case. This build allows electricity to be well utilized, and your daggers provide all the support you need to trigger melee vortex, and the blade itself will do the killing via slashes and electric ticks. Melee afflictions again, but this time a single toxin mod instead of electric. This is specifically designed for corpus units and able to obtain both viral and toxin at the same time are insane against corpus. Melee afflictions is used for the same purpose, bumping up status stacks by 6 if enemies are lifted, and this massively benefits viral and toxin. This build generally requires very little buffing, and you could honestly slap this build on anyone else and it will still work fine. And yeah, that's all. I just want to make something different that may open your eyes a bit. Not just another melee influence slot that has seriously played the warframe creator space without even further understanding into the ethereal daggers themselves and what they can provide to the gameplay. This weapon has seriously become one of my favorite weapons, possibly behind Cipedal Prime. It is just my kind of taste and I was pleasantly surprised. I highly recommend you give this a try next time, but anyways, see you all next time. Goodbye.